Welcome to today's session. Today's session is going to take you a step or a layer deeper into marketing. But before I start, I'd like to ask everyone, what does marketing mean to them in terms of their context? So, for example, Muzzy, in your context, it may be hypothetically that you want to attract more landlords, right? Yeah. Or for that matter, a couple of other bits and pieces that you might be doing, right?
Correct.
You want to attract more investors. You want to attract more deals, whatever that may be, right? That's what it means. Marketing for you at the core. It may have more. It may have more aims to target, but that's right at the core, right?
It is absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
With my business, obviously, the guests as well. For
the guests as well, yes, the guests as well, yeah. So it's not just one, but two.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Harry, in your case, it's very similar, right?
Yeah, exactly the same. Bit of networking as well, getting people into the groups.
Okay, good stuff. And again, the benefits of networking are massive. Go and study Success Resources, okay? Or for that matter, many other companies, but Success Resources is one of the top companies, okay? Jennifer, in your case, marketing at the core would mean attracting more landlords who would potentially give you sites or properties that you could potentially use for your purpose of social housing, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and then it will also mean that if you can find other properties for your for-profit business where you can maybe do a deal, either do sourcing or for that matter, start doing your rent-to-rent or HMOs or service accommodations. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah, that's correct. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Lavanya, in your case, it may be attracting more landlords who will give you more deals, potentially leading to doing more HMO conversions at this stage. Yeah.
Yes, Jack. Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. Kalpana, in your case, it means knowing more landlords or getting in touch with more landlords who would potentially give you deals which you could convert or do flip or whatever. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kalpana.
Definitely. But I think I'm not as far as the others. I think I'm kind of with Pami, where we are still starting out. I need to build my personal brand first.
That's okay. No, it's not about first. Everything gets done simultaneously. Okay. Okay, but the reason I'm asking everyone is because so they should be able to see it in their context. Okay, it's very important to see it in your context. Okay, Pami, in your case, you'd like to get in touch with more landlords as well as being able to acquire those rent-to-rent properties, and then eventually you want to target more customers or guests who would stay in your properties, right?
Yes. That's what I need to focus on here. That's true, but depends here the way the circumstances I'm actually in, so that's makes everything difficult for me at the time. Yeah.
Well, it's never easy for anyone, Pami. Just so you know.
That's true.
Okay, it's never easy for anyone. No one at all. Okay, we are sitting in COVID situation, and we are still kind of growing the business, and there's a reason for that. You're about to learn that. Okay, so Suraj.
Sure.
In your case, it's attracting more landlords who would give you more properties, either for rent-to-rent purposes or for that matter, for the purpose of you buying them and flipping them, or probably, the BRR strategy or whatever, or potentially sometimes land deals or flats or whatever. Again, comes down to landlords and attracting more leads.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, good stuff. And then obviously in your case as well, you have the guests as well, which you want to attract, which I think you do a good job at anyway.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Jack. Yeah.
But again,
in my case, I mean, attracting tenants and the landlords, and finding a good deals and stuff. So that's what. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna take you to a layer deeper in marketing. Okay. First of all, there are a couple of things which everyone needs to be kind of very well aware of. Okay. One is it's about drumming it in. Okay. So if you've just spoken with a landlord once, and you think that they're going to remember you, raise your hand if you think they're going to remember you. They are not going to remember you guys, okay? Marketing at the core means you need to be at the top of their mind at all times. At all times. The person who wins in marketing is the one with the biggest budget. Okay, but if you don't have a big budget, how can you win? Okay, how can you be at the top of their mind at literally all times, all the time? Okay, And this one I've shared previously as well, that I once walked into an event and the guy, you know, the host was there and he looked at me, he goes, I can't believe you've come to the event. I know how busy you are sometimes. But let me tell you one thing, that I hear more from you than I even talk to my missus. Okay. Why is that? That's because of the number of WhatsApp messages they see from PEN. Okay. I'm going to take you a lot deeper into all of this. Okay. But I want you to understand the gist of this. The person at the top of their mind is the one they will call. So let's say if they're a landlord, okay, and they have a cousin who runs an estate agency and they know you, you're not a cousin, but they know you. Who are they going to call first? The cousin, right? Yeah. Okay. But how can you make them call you? By providing loads and loads of value, like loads of value. I was speaking with someone yesterday. She's a part of the Inner Circle member. I'm not going to name the person, but she's a part of the Inner Circle membership. And she's also a part of another group which she's paying loads of money. Like she's paying loads and loads of money, like about 10 times more than she's ever paying us. Okay. She goes, I'm getting more value by paying 1/10 than what I'm getting back 10 times more. Raise your hand if you know what I mean here. Okay. You need to understand the value, right? Value on the table. The more value you bring on the table, the more you're going to attract someone. She's in the midst of making her mind up to join us. Okay. Because of providing value. Okay. Try to understand value. How can you bring more value to someone on autopilot, delegated, where you don't have to necessarily invest your own time? Okay. At least in most cases. But staying on top of their mind is the game. Mazi, do you want to share some of the ways you can stay on top of the mind of the local landlords?
Using social media is a good way. I constantly post about what I do in the local communities on social media, and just continuously talk about the next project and the next project, tell them how I help. And then that actually helps staying on their mind because I'm always talking about it.
Yeah. So that's one way of doing it. But let me share with you another way where you can stay on top of their mind massively. Okay. Raise your hand if you remember I shared something called value ladder. I'm going to take you a layer deeper on that. Okay. But okay, I'm going to share with everyone value ladder again very quickly, and then I'll take you a layer deeper. Okay. If you look at, and I'm going to give you examples on PEN so you can see for yourself. Okay. And then you're going to see layers and layers on top of layers and layers on top of layers. So people can look at your business and see, look, wow, like it's unbelievable what's really happening with this. Okay. So if you look at PEN, we have the affiliate program, where there's about 40 plus people. I think there's like 43, 44 people in that group, okay, which they can join for free. Every now and then I give them a marketing training video, so they kind of get a feeling that, okay, even though we join for free, we are still getting some value, okay? And then on top of that, out of those 43, 44, I think about 10%, which is going to be average anyway, about 10% of them, or in fact more, maybe 15% of them, actually recommend regular business. Okay, so they go out and they know their cousin or their friend who is a landlord, and they recommend that person to us. Does that make sense? And then when they recommend someone, I ask them as well to recommend someone. Well, at least in most cases anyway. Can you see how quickly it compounds, the number of people I can get in touch with? Yeah. That's the first layer. The second layer is obviously we have the PEN Inner Circle. The third layer is PEN trainings. The fourth layer is the PEN reps. The fifth layer is PEN 360, which is the mentoring program we've created, which also includes a couple of seasoned investors behind me, which have joined us now. Now, these are the 5 layers in the business. Okay. I will show you layers which have layers inside the layers. Does that make sense? Raise your hand if you know what I mean. Layers inside the layers. Okay. Now, if you look at Inner Circle, Within the inner circle, you have the ad banner, right? Which is the ad space. Within the ad space, we have 3 more layers. If you don't know so far yet, go on PN ads, PN ad page. It's probably, PN advertise with us. So it's advertise with us at the footer, right? And then you can see 3 layers there as well. So as you're speaking, you can actually visit the page so you can see for yourself. Okay, so there are 3 layers within that as well. Okay, within the property finance that we do, raise your hand if you remember, I sent a very, very long list of different property finance options. Raise your hand if you've seen it. A massive list, okay? So all of a sudden, I go from providing just mortgages, I can help them with stamp duty claims. I can help them with all sorts of things, right? Prime mortgages, subprime mortgages. We can help them with development loans, bridge loans, even raising funding from family offices, high net worth individuals, so on and so forth. So there's like literally a couple of dozen layers in there, okay? Now, if you look at, for example, Muzzy is checking everything while we are speaking, right? That's a good practice, okay? We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Muzzy, you're not audible.
Oh, sorry, I was muted.
Okay. We couldn't hear you earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You were saying something.
Oh, no. Sorry. I was speaking to someone else. Don't worry.
Okay. So layers, and then layers underneath layers, and then layers underneath layers. Going back to, if you create a structure like this, what you're going to observe is that you are creating multiple assets within the company. Okay. Some get done in-house while others are outsourced. Okay. And then, I don't know if anyone observed this, but literally about a week ago, I put up this, the services we provide. There's 2 messages that I sent in inner circle. And there was one person in the inner circle, not going to name the person, but there's one person in the inner circle that never used to recommend us business, right? Never, just never did. And then all of a sudden, when I sent that message, that person started recommending us new business. Now he can see layers between layers between layers and so on. And that allows to expand the horizon as well, allows us to expand the network as well. Raise your hand if you know what I mean. I want everyone to understand the gist of this, okay? I want everyone to understand the gist of this. You can ask me questions if you want to. Okay.
Jack?
Yes.
Hi, Jack.
Yes.
I saw the message as well last time when you sent. Yeah. And before the message, I mean, I didn't know the service, you were providing and stuff. Yes. So that was really eye-opening for me. I mean, so now I know what what can be done and stuff. So since that message, I have spoken to quite a few people as well from my side and told them that, look, these are the service can be done from our side.
Okay, great. But you still have seen 1 layer, Suraj. There is more layers underneath that.
Oh, okay.
So the surprising thing is that even though you guys are so close with us, like we're literally close, not everyone still knows deep enough all the layers. Okay. So it's about drumming it in the mind of your potential prospect. Does that make sense? Drumming it in. You have to find a way to stay on top of the mind of your prospect. And I do not know a better way than continuous messaging, either WhatsApp or text messages or emails or whatever that may be. I believe WhatsApp plays a major part. Emails, still people don't open as many. Text messages, again, I don't know how many people check these days. They do, some don't, I don't know. But I do know people still check WhatsApp messages, okay? Like literally you send a WhatsApp message, 90% of the people reply, okay? So learn to stay on top of the mind of your client. Learn to create multiple layers within your business, or use PNs by all means, or create your own layers, allowing you to stay on top of the mind of your potential prospect. Okay, so in your case, if it's a landlord, okay, I would make a guide, like a written guide, like a lead magnet, and a video, and I'll share it with the landlord and say, oh, this is how you can potentially make more money or have a higher return on investment from their property. Does that make sense? That's your lead magnet. Raise your hand if you don't know what lead magnet is. Okay, so everyone knows what a lead magnet is. Okay, so that's good. That's normally a front-end product, which is very, very cheap, or in fact, in most cases, no, not even cheap, sorry, my apology. It needs to be free. And that is a value product that you give away to a potential prospect, and that person can either watch it or read it, and then they can come back to you to do business with you. Okay. In many, many cases, the books that you see on Amazon Audible, they're normally lead magnets. Okay. They're either given away for free or for very little money, allowing people to get to know the person's expertise. And then you get in touch with that person and say, could I work with you? Okay. So that's your lead magnet. And then from the lead magnet, you create backend products. Backend products could be your inner circle membership, could be your mentoring training, could be your services, irrespective of how you do or how you're structured. For example, in our case, the main product that I want to really promote at any given time is the ad space on the platform. Okay, because that's the main P and monetization strategy. Okay, and then at the back end of that, I have my consulting as well, remember. So at the moment, the team is working on my personal website, which is consulting based, okay, where I go and consult businesses on how to grow their business. That's my qualification as well, just so you know, guys, as well as I've consulted many really large businesses, allowing them to scale as well, okay? But at the back end of it, there's consulting. So if you look at the front-end lead magnet and the back-end services, and including all of that, you integrated your services and creating multiple layers, it can be applied to any business. It doesn't really matter what kind of business you're in. Raise your hand if you know what I mean. I need everyone to understand this. It can be applied to any business on this planet. A good lead magnet or multiple lead magnets. You know, for example, for Amazon, the lead magnet is the free trials that they give you. Okay. For Netflix, the free trials are the lead magnets. Okay. They bring you in, they give you the free trial, and then now you want the product because the product is good. Okay. And then if you look at Amazon, they sell a gazillion products through other retailers or wholesalers, right? Okay. And then if you see Netflix as well, very similar model where movies are made especially for Netflix, and then they have multiple movies, or for that matter, you can call them multiple layers. Everything is an attraction, right? And then if you notice, in most cases, if Netflix has a movie, then Amazon doesn't, and vice versa. So they wouldn't touch a movie if Amazon already has it, and then Amazon wouldn't touch a movie if Netflix already has it. Okay. This can be applied to literally any business on this planet. Okay. Uber started with just cars. Now they are into food delivery. They are into selling technology. So in China, they've just sold technology. So it can be applied to literally any business. In fact, their lead magnet was, Uber's lead magnet was, they were giving away 10 and 15 pound vouchers so the first drive was free. Raise your hand if you've taken a free ride from Uber. Exactly. That was the lead magnet for you to download the app and then get addicted to using their services. Okay. Now, when it comes to running paid ads, one thing I learned was, unless you don't have multiple layers in place, please do not run paid ads. They will not pay you enough. You could end up running £1,000 worth of paid ads, and barely break even. So close maybe £1,000 worth of business. Okay. Barely break even if you're really good at what you do. Okay. So in case, Harry, I remember you'd asked me and I said to you, please do not run paid ads yet. You do not have enough layers or the setup required to monetize well. Okay. So if I run an ad now, it will become profitable. Okay. I still don't want to run ads. I did run a couple of £100 worth of ads about 6 months ago or 5 months ago. But I have not run any ads for PEN since the inception, since the start of the business. Okay. So just a couple of £100. Okay. You need to find ways by creating different layers to stay on top of the mind of potential prospects. Okay. Lavanya, can you hear me?
Yes, Chef.
Friday coffee meet is another layer.
Okay.
Doing events is another layer. Bringing in speakers is another layer. Taking a picture with someone is building credibility in the market. Okay. But every time you create a new touch point, you've just created when I say it's a touch point, you've created a way to bring them into your multiple layers. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
When I say, let's start doing local events, and which you have decided to do in the next month or two,
yeah,
that will start bringing people into your network. But now, if you don't have the layers, it's just not going to benefit you. Okay.
I need to decide what.
Exactly. You need to have your inner circle.
Yeah.
Do you think inner circle is profitable in and itself?
Maybe yes.
No, Lavanya. If you're charging 20 and 30 pound or 40 pound, how is that going to make you any money? Okay. I spend more time talking with inner circle members than the money I ever would make. Not profitable. It's when they join, you've brought them a step closer. That means now they trust you. So you could sell your back-end products. Back-end products for us is property finance.
Yes.
Back-end products for me, the main product is property finance. Have you observed in the inner circle, or for that matter, in the reps team, there are no finance brokers?
Yeah, there is no.
That's my bread and butter. Why would I have a finance broker? I have had loads of finance brokers approach me and say, could we be a part of this?
Okay.
I don't want to, because simple, it's my bread and butter. If I start bringing finance brokers in, I'm compromising with my main bread and butter.
That's right.
Okay. Again, this doesn't apply to you, but similar stuff would apply to you. For example, Muzzy would not bring in a rent-to-rent operator in his inner circle. I don't think that's a good idea.
Right? Yeah, kick them all out.
Exactly. So you want to make sure that you have structured your business in a way where you've created multiple layers, and I would request everyone to go and check these layers as well. Okay. The affiliate group is free to join. So when I send a message, I normally end up getting 2 or 3 people, 4 people, 5 people join. So every time I send a message, literally, I would have 2 or 3 people join. Not everyone will do business with me, but they do start to go and speak with their friends and family and people that they know. Are you looking for something? Can we help you with something? Do you want to grow your portfolio? All of a sudden, I've got a couple of recommendations. I won't close all the business. It doesn't quite work like that. But yes, it starts to grow the network. Eventually, remember, you may not close a business initially, but over a period of time, if you deal with your relationships effectively and provide good enough value, you will close business with potentially most of the people over a long period of time. So someone might approach me and say, can you help us with this? And then we may not be able to help them at this stage, but over a period of time, if you deal with the relationship respectfully, that you will be able to close that business. The more you get to know that person, the likes, the dislikes, what do they want? What are the aspirations? What are the kind of changes that they might be going through? You know, someone you know now, maybe he's single, she's single. 2 years later, they get married. All of a sudden, now their bills are double. They want to make more money. Now they're maybe thinking about, 2 years I've been connected with someone like Jack. I know this guy provides loads of value. Let me go and check his YouTube channel. Let me go and speak with him. Similar, maybe when you speak with them, they're married. Now 2 years later, they have a baby. Now their bills are higher. One person cannot fully work full time. Everything changes in life. All of a sudden, they come back to you and say, Jack, could you help us grow our income? Okay. Likewise, it can happen with you as well. You just need to create a systematic way to do this.
Jack, can I ask something, please?
Of course, yes.
I've got Lucian Property Meetup, and I feel that listening to what you've just said, I've not utilized that meetup, that network.
Yes.
So that's something, I mean, if it's not appropriate to talk about it now.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I'd like to know.
Jennifer, before you do that, I'd like to know who there was someone who joined and left.
It's Arvind.
Oh, is it Arvind? Okay. Sorry, I was like, who is that? I don't even know the person. Sorry, Jennifer, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering, because it's been going now 2.5 years, but it is a bit stagnant in that there's a WhatsApp group. They only put things up occasionally, but listening to you, it's just how to utilize that platform, because there is quite a few people in the WhatsApp group. There's a few people in the Facebook, but again, I've not utilized the Facebook group as I ought.
No.
So it's finding what to put up there. Is it more
value, Jennifer?
When you say value, is it putting up different speakers like yourself, or is it trying to get some kind of a PLR? Is it PLR? You know, they have these books that are practically written for you.
No.
What do you suggest?
I'll tell you what, Jennifer. Okay. Look, when people come to these events, or they decide to come to these events, they've got a pain point. Otherwise, they wouldn't come to these events. Okay. They've got some pain point in their life. Either they're not making enough money, or they're depressed in their life, or they're going through bad relationships, or either something logical or something emotional is wrong in their life. Logical means maybe they're not making enough money, or emotional, that means something is wrong with the relationships, and so on and so forth. Okay. Your job is to create a value and layered value, allowing them to learn. Okay. So, for example, you've been in business, you know property business a little bit. Can you take that and make videos and share with people?
Yes.
And at the same time, I remember I shared this with you, Jennifer, and I shared with a lot of respect, that once you watch all the videos that we have, like 70, 80 hours of videos that we now have, if you watch all of them, at the end of it, you look back and say, well, I know about 95% about the property.
Yeah.
Okay. If not more. Okay. And then you can take that knowledge and share it with people. Okay. But share it in the way it is, rather than, it's almost like if you've learned it from someone, you go and share it that, okay, this is what I've learned.
Yeah.
Rather than saying, I have experiences. There's a difference between learning, observing, and experience. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Likewise, I always share that there's a difference between a teacher, a consultant, and a mentor. Difference is, a teacher is someone who's learned from a book and is teaching you. A consultant is someone who's consulting others, so he's doing it for others while he's sharing with you. And then you have a mentor who's done it and is sharing with you. And then you have the fourth layer, which is an entrepreneur, who is actually taking all the risk on his head and then doing it and then sharing it with you. Okay? You can learn from all. And you can apply all of these layers to your business. Okay? But at the same time, understand the layers within the business. Okay? You got to create multiple layers, and the first layer could be free to join. So I'd recommend everyone to have your affiliate program, first of all. Free affiliate to join. Okay? For example, for Muzzy, it could be join our affiliate program, recommend us the first landlord, and we'll give you £300 recommendation fee. Yeah? Or £200 recommendation fee. It becomes a regular marketing banner that goes into your emails every single time. It becomes a regular message that you send all the time, like once a month, to your network saying, we are looking for more landlords in this region. If you recommend us someone that leads to a deal, we will pay you. And then create a separate WhatsApp group where you every now and then give them some sort of marketing training. So they can see value as well, staying in there. Okay. The second layer, like I said, I think he's already started, Muzzy, is the inner circle. It could be £1 a day. It could be £20 a month. It doesn't really matter, but you provide some sort of value. You bring in speakers, you bring in your own expertise, you bring in whatever it is that you bring, but make sure that when they pay £20, £30, £40, that they can see value at the back end of it, that the money that they paid and the value they got was double. Okay. And then you can do your trainings, you can create your, it depends on the context that you potentially might be in. Okay. But if you look at, for example, Jennifer, to answer your question, if you look at PEN as a network, I monetize on literally about 30 or 40 different layers. Okay. So we have the 5 layers within the PEN circle, which is the affiliate program, the inner circle program, the trainings, the mentoring, and the reps model. And then at the back end of that, we have a whole range of services. We provide property sourcing, property finance being my major one. And then we have architectural services, planning services. I have collaborations, Jennifer, with every single one of these categories at multiple levels. So I have multiple collaborations with architects. I have multiple collaborations with builders. I have multiple collaborations with project managers. I have multiple collaborations with developers. I have multiple collaborations with on all sorts of levels, even down to IT services. Okay, so someone comes into our network and says, you know what, I'm struggling with our social media marketing or our website or app creation or whatever that might be. I can get it done through an external collaboration. And I get I get commission on that. So every step of the way, I get commission, and then it allows me to stay on top of the mind of the potential prospects as well, because there is a whole range that I'm covering. Does that make sense? Okay. Someone goes to an architect and they get architectural services. But if the same architect has collaborations with builders and planners and traders and all of that, do you think that architect would stay on top of the mind of the potential prospect? Okay. All it requires is collaborations, right? Okay. Within the inner circle, then we sell ad space on the platform. Within the ad space, we have 3 layers, which is different consulting packages. Does that make sense? And then now we are creating multiple. So within this trainings that you see, which are getting recorded, we are splitting these into multiple, and they're going to become multiple products as well. So not one person has to subscribe to all the full video set in once. If they want different sets and want different subjects, that they can subscribe to them. Can you see it'll be all hands off? All of it hands off. And you can create, because they're hands off, the value that you put on these, if they're worth, let's say, £5,000, you can sell them for £200 because they're hands off, right? Hands off. You're not spending any time on it. Okay. All of this allows you to create a much bigger personal and professional brand, allowing other people to talk about you, and that attracts more business. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does.
But remember, when you start to run paid ads, and the subject of today's main at the core was paid ads. When you run paid ads, what you're going to find is paid ads are very, very difficult to make profitable. Okay. You could end up spending £100 to acquire a customer. And if you don't have enough layers in the business, how are you going to make it £100 profit or £200 profit? Literally, if you start running ads on Facebook today or LinkedIn or whatever, the cost of acquiring a customer would range anywhere between 100 to about 400, 500. And if you're not making, if the value of your client that you're acquiring is not making you profits in the region of 100 to 500, you're going to make a loss, right? So for you to get to a point where you're running ads and they're effective and profitable ads, first of all, you need good copywriting and you need really good landing pages. At the same time, within the landing pages, you got to have your front end product and then your second layer product and then your third layer product and then your fourth layer product. And then it could be a fifth one and a sixth one, depending on the context you might be in. That's how you make ads profitable. Okay. So Muzzy, in your case, let me give you an example in your case, Muzzy, so everyone can see how it works. Okay. Let's say in your case, if you run a Facebook or a LinkedIn ad, or for that matter, any ad on any platform, if you run an ad, people go on your landing page, the first product is free. Download your rent-to-rent video on how you can set up your first rent-to-rent or how you can find your first rent-to-rent. Okay. Free. You're not charging anything for that. It could be a half-an-hour video. It could be an hour video. It could be a 2 hours video, or you can have a guide as well, like a PDF guide. Okay. But once they download that, they don't leave the page. They go to your second layer. Thank you for downloading our guide or downloading our video. We have another product that I think we have another value product that might be of interest to you. Check it out. Okay. And then that page automatically directs you to that page. So the thank you page automatically goes on to your next layer page. Now this product you could sell for £10 or a £30. Okay. Or your first value ladder product could be your book, which you give away for free. Download my book for free on how to set up your rent-to-rent. And then you take them to your second layer product, which is join our inner circle. The second layer could be inner circle. Okay. So the average of people doing all of this is, let's say if 100 people downloaded your first front-end product, about 7 to 10 people would take on your second layer product. So let's say you ran an ad and you spent, let's say, £1,000 on ads. And let's say on the £1,000, you have had, let's say, 20 people download your guide. Out of those 20 people, let's say 2 people joined your inner circle. Okay. Now, the 2 people that will join your inner circle still haven't paid for your ads of the £1,000. Okay. If they stay with you for, let's say, a year, yes, they would have paid for the ads, right? But now your job is to, out of those 2 or 3 people or 5 people that will join, that you want to make sure that you sell your back-end product. Does that make sense? Your back-end product could be your training, your mentoring, or for that matter, a whole range of others. For example, it could be a JV collaboration in your case. Yeah. Come and JV with me. Between you and me, we can set up the first 5 for you. Okay. Instead of sourcing, I think JVing with people is a better idea, where you help them set up, but you take a percentage of the profit. The first 5, the first 10, put them into an agreement. The first 10, you'll do it with me, and then they will, I will get a set percentage of profit from those rents. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you use your creative mind now on how you can create more layers. Now that you're getting also familiar with buy to let, that's another product that you can start to, kind of create layers around. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then don't hesitate to use the PN's layers. Okay. That's what we are here for, right? Working well together with each other, but you can create your own as well, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Collaboration with an architect, collaboration with a builder, collaboration with any trade that is required by landlords. Remember, the more depth you have and the more width you have, the bigger your brand is, the more people you'll attract. Okay. But do not run paid ads unless you have multiple layers in your business, allowing you to attract more people. Okay. Let me go to Irvin here. Irvin, let's say in your case, is it Irvin or Ashwina?
It's Irvin.
Hi, Irvin. Okay. So let me take it in your context. Let's say you're looking to grow your HMO portfolio. Okay. If you started making videos and sharing with people, and then remember, guys, one more thing. On your social media profile, you need to write this very, very clearly. What is it that you're looking for? Okay, because if you don't ask, you don't get. It's very, very simple, right? Okay, but let's say in your case, you're looking for more landlords who would potentially bring you more deals, or agents who would bring you more deals. Okay, if you start sharing this value out, and then you create a product towards agents where you share a process that you have regarding HMO conversions, it doesn't necessarily have to be yours. You can use someone else's, okay? But you share that. Do you think you're gonna create a perception in the agents community in the region that you're looking at that you are the serious investor? Raise your hand if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. Creating value around what you do. And massive value around all layers of what you do. And yes, knowledge makes a major, plays a major part in all of this, because the value can be, in most cases, around knowledge. It can be through different layers as well. For example, for us, it's providing the services as well, providing the ad space, providing these whole range of services. Someone calls me up and says, how does this look like, or what can I do with this potential deal? I can give them some advice for 10, 15 minutes. All this is value as well, but knowledge is where it comes to at as well. Okay. Yes. Okay. Raise your hand if you're struggling to see how you're going to apply this to your business. Raise your hand. Everyone understands. I love it. I don't think you will. When you start doing it, you'll get confused.
Yeah, YouTube can be used as a lead magnet as well, right?
It is a lead magnet. What is YouTube?
It's just videos.
It's lead magnet.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a lead magnet. In fact, these videos, when they get recorded, they go on YouTube. There's a feature called unlisted.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a feature called private, and there's a feature called unlisted. When you make a video unlisted, it's not available to public, but it's available to people that you share links with. Okay. All these trainings that you see are actually unlisted videos. So they're not available to public, but they are still private to only those who I share links with. Okay. You can actually upload something and make it a lead magnet by making it unlisted. And you can create multiple layers. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You got to have more lead magnets than anyone out there. Anyone. If someone has 20, you got to have 200. Okay. Look at the number of lead magnets that I have. Every video, interview that I make, every time I go live, or for that matter, you guys go live, that's a lead magnet. That's bringing people into your network, allowing you to work with them. Some people would want training, others would want mentoring, others would want a piece of the cake. That means they want to invest with you. They want to JV with you. Depending on the context you're in, you want to bring people closer that they would work with you. And every time you create a video, every time you create a guide, every time you do anything on social media, that's just creating another touch point. And you're going to have millions. In fact, we actually did a research. My missus was actually doing a master's. She did a research on Grant Cardone. It's amazing the number of times that guy actually posts. Obviously, he's got a social media team and everything, right? But you'll be surprised. He tweets 23 times a day. The last time we checked, he tweeted 23 times a day. Okay. Do you think he's doing that all himself? No way. No. There's a social media team. Okay. If you look at my social media at the moment, it's not just me, right? I think you guys can see that it's not just me anymore, right? There's 2 more people that are posting on behalf of me. Every time they go and post something regarding PE and regarding my personal brand, that's another touch point. Okay. So and that's, I mean, if you check Grant Cardone's, the number of touch points is in millions. Okay. Irrespective of what sort of response you get initially, you got to consistently keep doing that. But before you even do the touch points, you got to create layers, right? If you don't create enough layers, you just wouldn't be able to monetize. Jennifer?
Yes.
Just so you know, I actually recommended an architect quite some time ago.
Yeah.
I ended up making, I can't give you the figure, but it was more than 4 figures.
Wow.
One single recommendation.
Okay.
Okay. Just a single recommendation, and I make more than 10 grand.
Wow.
Okay. But you need to create systematically collaboration. So I have written collaborations with every single person that we recommend business to. Without the written collaboration, we don't recommend any business to anyone, because people can take away the business and walk away and not pay you.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, even if they don't pay you, you still don't want to chase them. But when there's a written collaboration, they're more likely to pay you.
Okay.
So we have written collaborations on every level that there is.
Is there a template that I can see?
I can share with you. Yes, of course, of course.
Okay.
Please do remind me after the call, or just send me an email. It just becomes a to-do tasks, please.
Okay, thank you.
I will share with you every template that we have. Okay.
Thank you.
But at the same time, like I said, you gotta have multiple layers, allowing you to attract more business and allowing you to attract a bigger network and a personal and professional brand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do a coffee meet, you do an event, you do whatever it is that you do. You want to make sure that at the back end of it, there's a way to monetize that. Cool. If there isn't, how are you gonna, like, literally, how are you going to make money? Yeah. Okay. And when I say, I share this many times, that the first step for anyone is to get to 10 grand a month. That's your first step. Think of it as a ladder. Let's say it's a ladder of 100 steps. Okay. Let's say Amazon is at 100 step. Okay. Your first step is getting to that 10 grand a month.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you haven't got to 10 grand a month, you haven't even taken the first step. Okay. And then the second step could be 15 grand a month or 20 grand a month. The third step could be 30 grand a month, and so on and so forth. Okay. And then everyone has their own steps and ways of doing things. Okay. Remember, guys, if you take on anything that takes on your personal time, remember the amount of time you have in your hand. Always remember that. Okay. We all have limited time. It's always a good practice to take on something that you can delegate, automate, and be hands-off as much as possible. Okay. I can tell you that I leave deals on the table just because it's going to take too much of my time. I literally leave deals. I think some of the members would know this here. Okay. I literally say no because it's going to take too much of my time and I'm not prepared to give that time. Even if it means it's going to bring me 15, 20 grand, I just leave it on the table. In some cases, it's 6 figures I leave on the table just because it's going to take too much of my personal time. Okay. Raise your hand if you can see through every layer of PEN. If you don't, I want you to be able to see through. Raise your hand.
Jack, you list them again quickly. Okay. So I can write them down.
Okay. So the first layer is the affiliate program.
Yeah.
Second layer is the inner circle.
Yeah.
Third is the trainings.
Yeah.
Fourth is the reps.
Yeah.
Fifth is the PEN 360, which is mentoring.
So reps, then fifth is the mentoring. Yeah.
Which is mentoring and consulting. But again, we'll come back to consulting. Within all of these, there are multiple layers.
Okay.
So affiliate program is based on a whole range of services. If you create an affiliate program where you only have one product, people would be reluctant to become one.
Yeah.
It's when you have multiple products that people are happy. Oh, you know what? If I don't sell one, I may be able to sell the other.
Okay.
Okay. So your affiliate program would be only effective if you have multiple products.
Is there a way to do, on an affiliate program, is it legal to do like a network marketing sort of model where they can bring in people to refer to them and they split it like that?
Who says you can't?
Is it legal though?
It
is that illegal? Okay.
It is. In some financial products, for example, residential mortgages, it's illegal.
Okay.
That's exactly why I write everywhere, we don't cover residential mortgages.
Okay.
If someone calls me directly, I would take it because it's coming direct. But I would not use this network to generate residential mortgages. Is there a
certain amount of tiers you can go down before it is?
Look, if you keep it indefinite, it will become illegal in most countries.
Okay.
Okay. I have the intention to take it as down to 5 layers. Okay. And the CRM system that's going to come will help us keep a track of all the deals that we do. And that's with all the layers and within all the people in the chain.
So, for example, if it was me recommending I get 100%, first layer, it could be 50-50, and then second layer, it could be 50-30 to the...
See what works for you.
20 me, yeah?
See what works for you, yeah.
Okay.
See what works for you, okay? Like I said, with residential regulated products, it's illegal.
Yeah. But
other than that, I don't see if you create 5 or 10 layers that it is illegal in any country. It's not.
Like builders, plumbers, that's all fine, all that stuff. Yeah. Okay.
You can. And create, make sure that they are looked after. What I mean by looked after, someone joins an affiliate program, I send them a training program, they're getting it for free, they're seeing value, they would want to stay. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
And they want to see how they can, with their persuasive, how they can learn persuasive communication, allowing them to attract more people into allowing them to generate more business. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So the affiliate program that we've created, literally I get at least 5 recommendations a week, sometimes even 10 and 15, just from those affiliate members.
Okay.
Remember, you will never close all the business.
Yeah.
Okay. But the more people coming into the network over a longer period of time, you'll close more business.
Yeah.
Okay. And then these are the layers. And then within the layers, remember, with affiliate, you got to have multiple products. Within the inner circle, you got to have multiple benefits. Within for example, training, there are multiple videos. Within the refs model, there are multiple benefits. Within the consulting projects, there are multiple benefits. In fact, if, like I said, you go to the advertise with us page on the PEN, it's not just advertise with us. It's actually it's 3 consulting packages that we have. And that's something we're going to start working on in the future. Okay. But they're already there on the platform. In fact, I've had one inquiry as well on that. Okay.
Yeah.
But multiple layers and layers within layers, and then potentially layers within layers.
Yeah.
You need to be as creative as possible to be able to make sure that when you start to run paid ads, that they are profitable.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't have a clear layered business with enough structure in place, you will just find it very difficult to make your ads profitable.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Seti, can you hear me?
Morning, everyone.
Morning. I actually had something in my mind within the same context for you. I know you've been looking to acquire more businesses, and the businesses that are actually on sale or people looking to sell normally end up asking for a lot more money than what they're worth. Okay. And I'll tell you the reason for that. They go to websites like businessforsale.com, and all of a sudden, a business that's only maybe turning over 100 grand and making maybe only profits of 50 grand, they give them multiples of 5.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been through that. Remember, I've sold 2 businesses, right? So 5 and 10. Yes, I know. I've sold businesses, so I know what's happening. Okay. A business is only making 50 grand. They're being told, go and ask multiples of 5. They're asking for £250,000. And all of a sudden you're thinking, well, I'm not going to be able to make that money back anytime soon. It's just not worth it, right? This is how you can attract more people who will sell you their businesses. Okay. First of all, a very clear digital strategy in terms of we are looking to purchase more estate agencies in this region as your tagline on your social profiles. Second is...
Is this game recorded, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Second is that you start to create these videos, live videos, talking to landlords and so on, and estate agents, asking people on a conscious level, you're asking people around you that we are looking to buy estate agencies which are struggling.
Yeah.
Which are struggling. Okay. And then you take them and turn them around. But the main source of you generating leads is, first of all, solicitors. So you want to make sure that you sit down and literally call every solicitor in the region and say, we are looking to take on estate agencies that are struggling. If you bring me someone, we will really look after you.
Yep.
Okay. And in return, you tell them, we'll forward you some new business. Okay. Generate new business for them, stay on top of their mind, tell them that this is what I'm looking for. Second is the insolvency practitioners in the region.
Yeah.
Okay. You need to reach out to every single one of them. Okay. And find a way to stay on top of their mind.
Yep. Gifts. I'll share something with you guys as well. This is going to help everybody out who's new to the space, HMO management, SA management, or whatever you're doing, rent to rent and whatever not. So I've been toying with this idea for absolutely ages. But as you can see, any tenant who moves in now gets this, just a welcome pack. I'm going to send you guys the details of it. You probably get 20 or 40 boxes free, first of all. Didn't hear that from me, but I'll send that to you guys. Okay.
I'm waiting for one.
How nice is it? And I'll just show you. I'll just show you a picture. I'm not going to put an address on it, but can you see? She just picked this up, and then she allowed me to do this as well.
Yeah.
Take a nice picture of her with the box, welcome pack. That's going to go on advertising.
What does it contain, Sati?
Sorry,
I think it's the same question of
What does it contain?
What does it contain? Hold on.
It's just a box. There's nothing in there.
It's got a card, a welcome card. We have got, look, share your box on the photo thing. So it's got like Instagram or Facebook or whatever not. And I'll do this where I don't want to use my Punjabi fingers and break this because that happens. Right, if we open this, remember, today's tenant, I always say this, is tomorrow's landlord. Can you see?
Yeah.
So you've got pot noodle, you've got kind bars, you've got a cleaning product for the linen, you've got loads of breakfast stuff, you've got marmalade, you've got jam, you've got, gosh, look, vanish.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. You've got love corn, you've got nail repair. Sorry, bro. Just steering away. Look, it's a welcome pack for like you moving in.
Yeah.
And we're reflectively going to be in their minds, and when their friends are looking, they'll be talking about us.
Find ways to stay on top of their mind. Be as creative as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And it smells nice.
Fantastic.
I'll share the information on with all you guys. Just contact the company and get your free boxes. They'll do it under your thing as well. And remember, the main thing is where it does the game changer. The boxes are all going to be the same for everybody, but the only difference is how nice does that look with your logo on the front of it.
Let me share with you one more thing, guys. People don't care how much you know.
Yeah.
People care how much you care. Remember that. Okay? People do not care how much you know. People care how much you care. If you really, really care, people would want to work with you. Okay? When you share your knowledge, when you share something from your life with people, they would want to work with you either now or at some later stage. Like Seti said, today's tenant is tomorrow's landlord. Okay? Think long term. Think 5, 10, 20 years ahead. Okay? How many people do you know who are newbies now? And this is something, Mazi, we discussed yesterday. Newbies now. 5 years later, these guys would be seasoned investors. Okay?
Yep.
Or 10 years later, they would be potentially millionaires, some of them, right? If you keep good relationships and care for people, they would want to do business with you. But at the same time, you want to find at this time now a way to create multiple layers in your business, allowing you to run ads, which are going to be effective, helping you to monetize and be more profitable. One of the things that I shared with Harry, and now he's gone, before we even started the session, this was before the recording, is if you can make a business profitable in the first 2 years, consider yourself lucky. Okay? It takes time to make a business profitable, but at the same time, you can close anyone if you keep persisting with patience and using the right strategies at some point in the lifetime of your potential prospect. You can close that business. if you only know how to, by creating layers, first of all, the width, first of all, the depth, and then the width. Does that make sense? Okay. For example, for me, the first step was the depth of property finance, and then I started to create the width of it, right? Which is, you know, if you're looking for sourcing, if you're looking for properties, if you're looking for architects, if you're looking for planners, if you're looking for builders, if you're looking for training, if you're looking for mentoring, if you're looking for, if you want to join our affiliate program, if you want to join our ad space program, can you see I'm now taking the width of it? Yep. Okay. The first step is the depth. The first step for me, in fact, potentially maybe only started when I did my finance course, right? I did that course. I made sure that I have enough finance knowledge. And then I started providing mortgage services back in 2009, if I can remember. I was doing that really part-time, but I started back then, right? That was the start of the depth of my finance side. Okay. And then you kind of keep learning and creating multiple layers and so on and so forth. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. In your case, let's say in Muzzy's case, it's rent to rent. That's the depth. And then he can create the width now through the knowledge that he's gaining from here, or for that matter, gaining from multiple sources. My apology. Okay. But yes, Seti, I was sharing with you that, you know, making sure that you remain on the top of the mind of the local solicitors as well as the insolvency practitioners, you're more likely to attract someone who's going bankrupt, that you'd be able to. And then I also would suggest that find a way to see how you can generate the list of potential registered estate agents, not just the ones that you see on High Street, but all the registered estate agents in your region.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So let's say if there is a list of 400 of them and only maybe 40 of them are on the High Street, there's 360 of them working from home.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And then those 360 can potentially be people that are probably struggling, that maybe have 10 properties they manage, 20 properties that they manage, and a few of them can potentially add up. Yeah.
Yep. No, for sure, 100%.
Okay. And then you want to find a way to remain on top of their mind. Okay. Because remember, it's not just about buying their businesses. It's about maybe a franchise model. So if they don't want to sell it to you, well, guess what? Become a Hanson's and we'll make sure that you grow. And then you take a cut of that.
Yep.
You have to be creative. When you are sitting on table with someone, you want to find a way to get the deal done. Okay. Irrespective of how you get the deal done. Okay. That's how you monetize. That's how you make a business profitable. Okay.
Thank you. No. Thank you. And guys, sorry, I was held up with staff members' child not well, so I've just stepped in to help out today.
Muzzy, in your case, for example, I would do the same. I would ring up all the solicitors, ring up all the insolvency practitioners and say, is there a rent-to-rent operator in the region that's going bankrupt? I'll take it on. Even if you take on one, even if you take on 1 in 2 years and the guy has 10 properties.
That's a portfolio, yeah.
That's not bad. Okay. And the same applies to landlords. Is there a landlord going bankrupt? Take on the properties. Find a way. There is always creative ways to grow your business. You just need to sit down and reflect and say, how do I make it more creative? How do I find ways to remain on top of the mind of our potential prospects? How do I create more layers? How do I create the depth, more depth and more width? There's always more depth and there's always more width. Even if you're a £1 billion company, there's still more depth. Even if you're a multi-billion pound company, you still have more width. Look at Google. They started as a online tech browser. You go and write anything in this world that you buy, and Google has sponsors, right? They only started as a browser, guys, because they managed to find the depth and the width of things. Literally, you go and write caps, you go write anything, and there are sponsors, right? They are sponsored products. Okay. Similar stuff can apply in your situation. please do not think that Google is big and you cannot be there. Please do not think that, okay? You are a business like Google is. I am a business like Google is. I am a business like Amazon is. It doesn't really matter. They're just a few steps ahead. That's all, okay? You can be that if you create all of this and learn to monetize through multiple layers within the business, okay? And every time you create a layer, every time you create a single layer, now you have the depth of that as well. Does that make sense? So now that we've created inner circle, I want to see how much depth does that have. Or if I've created, let's say, consulting packages, I want to make sure how much depth does that consulting project have, every single one of them. Because it can go really, really far. I can have a consulting package where in fact, we're going to have one in the coming months where I would consult a business and I'll charge £100,000 to consult a business. That will be on my personal website, okay? The depth of anything, you can go as far as you'd like to, okay? Let's say if hypothetically, let's say I go to Seti and say, Seti, I'm going to charge you 100 grand, but by the end of the year, I'll make sure that you make 200 grand. Or for that matter, only pay me 100 grand when you make 200 grand.
That's
okay?
Fair.
Seti, would you pay me?
Yeah, of course, 100%.
I'm pretty sure if I go on Seti's business, I can make him extra 200 grand. I'm pretty sure. Okay.
We need to have that chat.
What's that?
I said we need to have that chat.
I'm pretty sure I can. But this confidence is something you will learn from me. Okay. And the strategies and the structures you will learn from me. Raise your hand if I'm making sense. Everything that I've shared made sense to you. I want to see everyone's hand. Otherwise, I'd think that you're not getting the gist of this.
Hi, Jennifer. The ladies are shy in our group, aren't they? Look at us. We don't even need to put makeup on and we turn up.
I'm being brave here.
There we go. As soon as I said it, they all come out. Lovely seeing you. Lovely seeing you all. That's right.
Jennifer,
yes, Jack.
Hi,
am I making sense to you? Is that all making sense to you?
Yeah, it's making sense. It's just I'm gonna need help brainstorming, but it's definitely
of course, I'll help you with that. Suraj, good to see you in your uniform, buddy.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm at work at the moment.
If you guys learn everything that I've shared and start to implement, fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know, depends on you, you wouldn't need a job. Okay, so you wouldn't necessarily need a job, and it applies to some here. Okay, so it's a lot of respect. Please accept a lot of humility coming from me. I'm sharing all of this, which is still in the process of implementation. You can actually literally go to every single page and read the copy. It's not the best copy, guys. But I've started. That means I'm going to keep improving the copy. Literally every month, I go to these pages and I improve the copy. I improve something or the other in every single page that you see every month. It's a regular practice, okay? So you got to make sure that you keep improving. Even if you improve 0.1% every day, when you look back 365 days later, you've just improved 3.65%, okay? And then when you look back at it 10 years later, it's not 36.5%, it's compounded. So 10 years later, you've just improved 100%, okay? So you want to make sure that you keep improving something or the other within your business, and you keep creating these structures and layers, and then creating more depth and more width within your business, allowing you to scale, okay? Anyone has any questions? Good stuff. Just so you know, guys, going forward, we are the reps that are joining will have exclusive rights to locations. So for those of you who are leading any certain location, they will be given targets. If you don't reach the targets, you will get warnings. And if you don't respond to that, those locations will be taken away. Okay. So we have made a list of all the regions in the country. We're going to slowly start to cover every region. and they will be given exclusive rights and so on and so forth. So that's the kind of direction we are heading towards. So yeah, just thought I'll share that as well. It's something that we are already working on. We've already got 3 inquiries for exclusivity on the regions. So we're gonna start to go in that direction. Okay, good stuff. Anyone has any questions? Have an absolutely amazing day. For those of you who are watching this, we're gonna stop recording.